Oh, hello. We had a huge week in the league last week, so let's check in and see how everybody did. It pains me to say it, but Pandas stomped Michelle to keep his hand on the number one spot in terms of points scored. Did not expect to see 126 when I went to bed last night. Honey Badger proved that they beat a Ham Badger with an 89-70 victory over Scott. Nice job, Cece. And things continue to go poorly for football teams in Cleveland as Ham Bucket is still reaching for that first W on the season, right? We can start talking about if we think who's going to get a win first, the Browns or Nick. The Cup's not much changed from last week, right? I guess I forgot to put an animation on this one, so there's not really any surprises here, but there aren't any surprises here. Madison's bringing up the rear. Cleveland's just ahead of them. Milford's fallen back a little bit. Farmington, you're right at the halfway point. Berkeley and Chicago are neck and neck and still within striking distance of EL, but we are really starting to look good, y'all. We finally got enough votes to close the first round of the Trish Amanda Mascot Bracket Showdown. Coming out of the Cute and Pudgy division, we have Sleepy Ruby in a tank top. Dudes division, no surprises here. Crazy Hoarder clinches it with an easy victory. Badger Bucket was really close. We went down to the wire on this one, but at the end of the day, that division will be represented by a porta potty. And coming out of the Abstract Concepts and Existential Dread division, as you knew it would be, a sad old man running naked and alone down a cold, wet street. So, I've posted a link in the message board for our final round of voting in the Trish Amanda Basket Bracket Showdown. Vote for which of these mascots you think would win in a fight, and we'll determine who has the burliest mascot at the end of this week. Speaking of this week, what a schedule. I don't know if you can tell from looking at this, but every matchup except one is a showdown between couples. So we have Team Berkeley taking on Team Milford as Kevin and Matt face off, and Amanda and Allison face off. Amanda, happy birthday, by the way. We also have Team Cleveland taking on Team Madison, and I don't even know how to explain what I'm going to show here, but it turns out that Celia has more in common with Team Cleveland than you might think, because apparently she also tailgates Browns games. I know this is going to be disgusting to Will, who bleeds green and gold, as you can see here as he rides a scooter on game day. So I hope that this division within Team Madison doesn't prevent them from pulling in the win this week against Cleveland. Oh, well, this is supposed to be out of there. Pretend you didn't see that. Team East Lansing's taking on Chicago in a double matchup that could have huge repercussions for the race for the Cup. Coming out of the green and white, we have me and my lovely wife, Michelle, Team Chicago. It's Brandon and his lovely wife, Trisha. But let's not forget this week where it all started, when Brandon and I joined a gang together. As you can see here, us flashing our gang hand sign. This comes from the unfortunate time in our life when Brandon and I looked very similar and made stupid choices like a white tie on a white shirt. We've been playing fantasy football for a long time, and unfortunately, the Sable-Marchand fantasy football rivalry is incredibly lopsided. If we go back to 2013, when we started playing fantasy football, we didn't actually play because we had a terrible commissioner in that league that year, which set the record at 0-0, complete tie in points too. And unfortunately, it has never gotten better from there. 2014, I got spanked 103-58. Which set it off at 0-1. 2015, things did not get any better. Record goes to 0-2. Point total gets worse and worse. We met a second time in 2015, which was my closest performance so far, but it wasn't any good as the record went to 0-3. In 2016, I thought for sure I would finally win. I was wrong. We met later that season, and I continued to lose. So at that point, we were 0-5. And we were behind by like more than 150 points in the rivalry. This year, however, I thought Michelle can do what I cannot. Unfortunately, Brandon beat her too. So the Sable Marchand rivalry stood at 0-6. And then the very next week, I played Brandon again in our other league and still lost. So we currently sit at 0-7 Sable Marchands as I play Brandon and Michelle plays Trisha this week. And we really need to get one in the win column here. And I've given several people in this league fantasy football advice, so I know you're looking at this record and thinking, oh my god, I bet on the wrong horse. But surely we can't be 0-9 after this week, right? Surely one of the Sabos has to win. The matchup of this week, though, is between Carla and Scott in a game people are calling Stork Watch 2017. I scheduled their game for this week at the beginning of the season because this week Carla is scheduled to give birth to this baby finally. And I know she cannot wait for this stork to get here. Carla, in honor of your impending delivery, I don't think I can say it any better than they said in The Perfect Show, Scrubs.
Finally gonna get to meet Sam. Wonder what he looks like.
Oh, I just want a healthy baby. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Any second now. I come from a land down under. So that's what that song's about. Well, beat us flow, lynch under. Can't you hear the thunder? I wondered where he was hiding.
So, fingers are crossed that it happens exactly like that, but we're really rooting for you guys. And, If I really cared about this, I would go back and edit that part of the video out, but I'm sure you just saw that too, so sorry, everybody. All right, we're rooting for you guys. Hope the baby's healthy. We know it will be. Can't wait to meet it. Carla, maybe say something biting to Scott as you're delivering it about killing him at fantasy this week. I liked that enough to have it in there twice. I took the cuss word out of this in deference to your tiny baby infant, but don't forget to set your dang lineup.